how many of you read the email response that I sent from Mark? But my father had passed away, and we had settled his estate. At the same time, I met Joseph, and he was introducing me to all kinds of things through the network group about American Legion. And my dad was very adamant in volunteerism, Americanism. He was always wearing his hat that because he was part of the VFW or the DAB, he was just very active. So it impressed me that with my inheritance that I could make a donation in his memory for something that was seemed like a good thing to promote young men in learning so much about our region, about our civil and civic duties. Well, that same year happens to be the same year that the video was made that you all were encouraged to watch on Apple TV. But I've followed them since then, for the past 5 years, continuing to give towards a scholarship, again in my dad's memory. But what I've done is kind of ghost them. I follow them on some of their social platforms when they're in session. And I get to see some of the chatter between the boys and what they're talking about and voting for its National Whataburger Day and just seeing what they do. And it's just been really encouraging. I feel like it's been one of the things that gives me a lot of pleasure to know that I am participating in something that's going to affect our future leaders, for the boys and for the girls. They need to know where we're going as a nation, and they are going to be on board one way as a voter or another way as a voter or as just a citizen or your neighbor. So we wanted to just thank Joseph for introducing me to that, but now I'm on my own and I'm following with or without it. So thank you, Joseph.
Hi there. So when I met Joseph, he told me who he's with, and it was quite shocking because when I was in high school, I had the opportunity to be nominated to go to Boise State in Colorado. It was one of the best experiences I've ever had. I was in a unique situation in that there were requirements. You had to be first nominated by the teachers, and you had to have a grade point average of 3.5 or higher. Now, I did not have that grade point average, but the teachers saw something in me which gave me a fantastic opportunity because they were able to open up another slot for me and allow me to attend Boise State, where my real leadership development began. And so what I learned about state and local government, the opportunities I had to interact with other very smart and very interesting people, I think helped me considerably. And as a result, the following year, I was voted captain of the track team. So it's a great organization, help them out. These kids that get to go will get so much out of it.
Thank you. So every week, I give you my elevator pitch, which goes something like this. The American Legion is an all-volunteer veteran service organization. So what does that mean? Basically, we take all the funds that we can collect at the post through sales and things of that sort. We take donations from people like Faye. We put all that money together along with the membership dues that I'll collect here today. All right? We put all that together, and on top of it, we throw our volunteer hours. Okay? None of us are paid. And the reason we do that is so that we can maximize the money that we spend. And we push that towards our programs. And through those programs, we reach a lot of young men like Shelley Rutherford's son, Reflections of Health. Her son participated in Texas Boys State this year. Okay? And the reason we do that is in hopes that we can make young people better citizens. All right? So that they're contributing members of society like Mr. Robert Garcia. Thank you for that testimony. So again, it's an all-volunteer veteran service organization that focuses on 4 pillars. What are those 4 pillars in order, please? You should know them by now. Just throw them out.
Rehabilitation.
Okay, rehabilitation.
Americanism.
American.
Okay, so slow down.
Children and
All right, Veterans American Rehabilitation, right? Okay. National security,
That's the one I was reading.
right on.
Americanism.
Americanism, which is my specialty, and then children and youth. Wow, not bad. That's pretty
I've been in
good.
the group a long time.
All right, yeah, I appreciate it. And I say it a lot. And the reason I say the same thing over and over is because I want it to be burned into your memory. So, if you don't know, Joseph Campbell, I'm the commander of Hurst, Euless, Bedford, American Legion Post 379. But before we move on, move forward, please take out your phones, go to Facebook, search Hurst, Euless, Bedford, American Legion Post 379, Bedford, Texas. And the cover photo should look like this. Not like this. This is that's the shadow site that some person created for one reason or another. That's not us. It should look like that. It would be an oblique view of our building. So go ahead and like it.
This is not the right one.
That's not the right one. Yes. No,
Mine
that's
says I can
the
join
communist
the
site.
Is there a group? It's a group, yeah.
It's a group. Yes, it's a group.
That's
Yeah.
why, okay.
I was just thinking.
I had the wrong one.
No, that's the wrong one.
Oh, I got it.
Up top. The oblique view of the building. And so we are located just north of Harwood and Industrial. No, we're not a post office, and it's actually not abandoned. So that's why I'm putting a picture up there. I realize there are no windows, it's just a Legion thing, you know, started back in 1919. All right, everyone good? Yes. We'll square it away afterwards. All right. This is our agenda for today. Should be short and sweet. With that said,
The American Legion, we serve America and its veterans. We pledge ourselves to our veterans, our youth, strong national defense, and American history. These four pillars shape our work and what we do for you. There is power in our numbers. We're the largest organization of wartime veterans in the nation. We are 2.5 million members strong, men and women from every state in the nation and around the world. No other veterans organization wields this kind of power. We work relentlessly within our four pillars of service, and we succeed. The American Legion takes care of our fellow veterans and their families. We maintain close ties with Congress and the leaders in Washington, D.C. They respect us. They listen to us. We sponsor research and press for medical care and benefits for all veterans and active duty service members, whether they are members of the American Legion or not.
President Roosevelt signs G.I. Joe's Bill of Rights.
You've heard of the GI Bill of Rights, one of the most important pieces of social legislation of the 20th century. It was written and passed largely through the efforts of the American Legion. We were instrumental in the formation of what is now the Department of Veterans Affairs to make sure our veterans get the care and benefits they were promised and deserve. The young people of our nation are our future. They benefit from exceptional programs and generous scholarships that only the American Legion offers. We provide athletic programs like the American Legion Junior Shooting Sports, Legion Baseball, and educational and civics programs like the Oratorical Scholarship Contest, and Boys State and Boys Nation.
As Supreme Court Justice Hugo Black stated, the quality of justice that Americans receive should not depend upon the amount of money they have.
We promote citizenship and an appreciation of government. have all been directly involved in our nation's defense as wartime veterans. We know what policies, tools, and manpower our military needs to protect this great country. We fight to get these things done.
We're all very grateful to have the American Legion on point.
We take our case all the way to the top in Washington, D.C. to ensure that Americans are fear for anything. We are patriots through and through. We believe in our flag and all that it stands for. Our Constitution, our Pledge of Allegiance, our way of life are all fundamental to maintaining our freedom and the standing we have as the greatest country on earth. We promote and defend these values every day in communities across the nation. These colors represent not just what we do, but who we are. We're here to serve our fellow veterans, their families, and all of America. We are here for them. We are here for them. The American Legion asks you to join us in our mission. If you share our vision and commitment to America, visit our website at legion.org or your nearest American Legion post today.
Number 1, Veterans Affairs and Rehabilitation. Consists of programs that focus on veteran support, whether they're active, inactive, retired, or part-time, such as the National Guard and Reserves. Okay? If you did not know, the American Legion was the forerunner, or actually was at the forefront of establishing the VA hospital system, along with the GI Bill. That's the American Legion initiative. We offer transition assistance for those veterans who are leaving the military and returning back to the civilian sector. Okay? We offer employment help for spouses and, of course, veterans who are leaving the military, and business support for those same two groups. Help for Homeless Veterans is one of my favorite Pillar 1 programs. We have a program that we call Operation Comfort Warrior. And it's an annual event where we go out and we serve the homeless veterans. Okay? So I think the next event will be here in Fort Worth on the 16th or 17th of November. More to follow. Pillar 2, National Security, consists of programs that focus on keeping America secure, including keeping deployed veterans focused on their mission. So obviously, if you're deployed and you're worried about your family back home, you can't focus on what's in front of you. Therefore, possibly putting lives of others in jeopardy in addition to your own. As you saw in the video, we have legislative teams where we go out and we speak to our local representatives and also our national representatives, all right, in order to get them to see things our way. We focus on military quality of life for our service members, whether they're active duty or reserve, okay? We don't want them to leave the service, but if the benefits are better on the outside, then why would you want to be in the military? So, support for TRICARE. TRICARE is our health system, our healthcare system, all right? Unfortunately, you know, it's wrapped in with all the other government healthcare systems, and, you know, we have to go and tell people it's really not Obamacare. I know it's for our veterans, so, you know, please let us use your services. We have a national emergency fund that we engage in case of national disasters. Okay, and then speaking of national disasters, we have different preparedness teams. So at one point in time, when I first joined the American Legion, I'm a ham radio operator. I was on the ham radio team. And our responsibility was, if all communications went down, cell towers went down, I was to fire up my ham radio, you know, populate with my call sign, and we would talk to the other Legionnaires around the country and some towns around the world in order to get things flowing again. All right, Pillar 3, my specialty, the reason I was recruited for the Legion, all right, Americanism, consists of programs that focus on teaching high school age children to be better citizens. So again, you saw the short clip on Boy State, happened to be filmed here in Texas, which was awesome. Basically, Boy State is a government and leadership program. All right, we teach them about basically state government. On the auxiliary side, all right, they have Girl State too. So I am lucky enough to be one of the 24 senior city counselors for Texas Boy State. I've done it for the last 10 years, which I think is freaking awesome. And I'm even more lucky to be one of the 4 section counselors for Boys Nation. And so 49 states have their Boy State program. Hawaii doesn't. Hawaii sends their young men to Alaska. Go figure that. And so each Boys State program produces 2 senators, quote unquote senators, that go to Boys Nation. So there are 100 senators at Boys Nation. It's a phenomenal program. And girls, on the auxiliary side, we have Girls State and Girls Nation. Through junior shooting sports, we teach about weapons safety and weapons usage. All right, we'll talk afterwards, Carl. All right. We also have the high school oratorical competition, which is a constitutional speech contest. Now, all of these Americanism programs result in some type of scholarship. Where do we get the money from? I already explained that before. Okay. If you did not know, 60% of the Major League Baseball players played Legion baseball. I know it's kind of hard to believe because we don't really have any teams around here in Fort Worth. For some reason, we kind of dropped the ball. Okay, but about 30 years ago, there were 40 teams out of Fort Worth alone. So you can imagine how many teams we have across the country. All right, and of course, we support scouting, okay, as chartered organizations. All right, children and youth. Programs that focus on strengthening the family. Okay, so you got Pillar 3, involved in the youth, okay, teaching them to be better citizens. Pillar 4, we basically want to make the families better, okay? All right, so that offer temporary financial assistance for those families in need, okay? Preferably, hopefully they would be members of the Legion, if not veterans. Then we offer grants, which is pretty much the same thing as TFA, except they're in larger amounts, okay? We help with social issues through the different pamphlets that we produce, and some of them are actually online now, that we provide families and children in order to keep them safe and to negotiate life, you know. So there are some dangerous things out there where we try to educate families and youth on those. All right, then we provide child care services for our deployed members, okay? So, as you know, usually one spouse is deployed, one stays back, and they're essentially a single mom or dad. We offer, you know, a mom or dad stay out. And then we try to link all the different deployed families together in order to create a family support network so they can better help each other. So then that would release us to go do other things in the community. Okay, so how do you join the Legion? All right, in order to be eligible for the American Legion, you just need to have honorably served anytime after December 7th, 1941. I have all these other dates up there because those used to be the eligibility dates, but 2 years ago we went back to Congress because we're chartered by Congress, just like the Boy Scouts and Girl Scouts. We went back to Congress and said, hey, can we open up these dates? So December 7th, 1941, honorable discharge, you are in. Like that. All right. American Legion Auxiliary. In order to be eligible for the auxiliary, it's real simple. 2 generations up, 2 generations down, and laterally. If you're a woman and either your parents or grandparents honorably served, children or grandchildren honorably served, siblings honorably served, or spouse honorably served, then you're eligible for the American Legion Auxiliary. Okay? There's one exception to that. If you are a man and you're married to a female veteran, then you're eligible to be a member of the auxiliary. Any questions? Okay, Sons of the American Legion. 2 generations up. Okay? Either parents or grandparents served honorably, you're good to go. Now, with the Sons of the American Legion and the auxiliary, it could be biological parents, step parents, or adopted. Okay? All right, Legion riders. Basically, these are all of our Legionnaires that like to ride motorcycles. So, of course, in order to be eligible, you need to either have a motorcycle.
Number 1 qualifier.
All right, but, okay, and I say that because, or you could be married or the spouse of someone who is already in the riders. So let's say you're a woman, you're like, I'm not getting on the bike, but my husband rides, okay? You're eligible to be a member of the riders, okay? And then, of course, if you do have a motorcycle M classification on your bike, and be either a member of the Legion Auxiliary or the SAL, Sons of the American Legion. Clear as mud? All right, so, quiz. I'm almost done, Mark. All right, I have what we call our challenge points in the traditional military challenge points. The way it works is if you have a challenge coin and you actually challenge someone, okay, say, hey, where's your coin? All right. and they have a challenge coin, but they forgot it at home, then they owe you a drink. Okay? All right. If you're challenged, but you return a challenge with your challenge coin, then the person who challenged you owes you a drink. Okay? Now there are different ways to challenge. Okay? You can be civilized and just pull it out and say, "Excuse me, you wouldn't happen to have any you wouldn't happen to have any your challenge coin," or you can drop it on the deck, slam it on the table. I've seen it done several ways. Okay? If you're pulling your money out of your pocket and it accidentally falls to the ground, that's a challenge. Okay, so it is what it is. So I have a few of these for those who get the questions correctly. Correct. All right. Name one Pillar 1 program. Name one Pillar 1 program. All right. What's that?
I think we sit over here first.
Yeah, Mark said it first.
The Veterans Hospital.
Who said it first?
Me.
Okay.
I told
She
her.
did. All right. So, what did you say? Americanism. Okay.
Veteran rehabilitation.
Okay.
Oh,
All right.
Pillar 1. I thought I said
Pillar 1 program.
All right. Pump your brakes. Real quick. All right. There are 4 pillars in the American Legion, and then there are sub-programs underneath them. So, Americanism is one of the programs, one of the pillars. What? Okay. What's that?
Veteran affairs.
Okay. And what's this?
Rehabilitation.
Okay.
GI
Bill.
The GI Bill. Okay.
Don't put it at the same time.
Okay. Slow down, guys. I know you want these coins. There are 4 pillars, and then there are sub-programs underneath. Okay. So, hold on. So since I screwed that up, what is a Pillar 3 program, sub-program?
Children in.
There you go. Pillar 1. All right. Good. All right. Now you got it. All right. What's a Pillar 2 program? A sub-program. National security. What's that?
Legislative issues.
Legislative issues. There you go. Boom. Okay. What's a Pillar 4? Boom. You notice how I left Pillar 3 off, right? Because I knew you were going to screw it up. No, I'm joking. All right. I'm missing a coin.
I got 2.
Anybody who...
I got
Anybody who's not going to drink. So
All right. Who answered that question? I heard the answer.
Anyone who was honorably discharged after 1941.
December 7th.
All right, moving on, because Mark needs to move on. All right, next question. Who's eligible to become a member of the auxiliary?
Two generations up, 2 generations down, or 11.
Okay, I like that. Wow, that's pretty good. That's pretty deep.
She laid it out.
All right.
It was the handbook.
All right, last question. Who's eligible to become a member of the Sons? One generation up.
2 generations.
A male descendant. 1 to 2 generations up. There you go. All right, Mark.
You're fine. You're fine.
Okay, now, at the beginning, I talked about the first part of my elevator pitch. The American Legion is an all-volunteer veteran service organization that focuses on the 4 pillars of, and you know them. But a good lead for me is anyone who served in the U.S. military or anyone related to anyone who served. I have applications up here today. Okay. Well, did you just raise your hand, waiter?
Half my family.
Okay, I got you after this. All right. I have applications up here today. If you brought your application back, I'll need your $36, $25, or $10, depending on which organization you're joining. All right? So, Joseph Campbell, Commander of Hurst, Euless, Bedford, American Legion Post 379. There's my contact information. Thank you very much for your time.
Wowza, that is really cool. We're gonna have to do with the whole coin thing. Thank you, Joseph. Next week, Shelley, are you able